Welcome back, legends.
Let's go! Yo, listen up, about to tell you some tales of fighters and wizard shuriken and sails. The ups, the downs, the wins, the fails, and heroes that would make the Avengers pale. Madara Uchiha, he's a goddess shinobi, dunking on allied forces harder than freaking Kobe. Heading over to Marineford, ready to take the risk. You see, wipe and crack the air with one blow off his fist. Brighter than the sun, hotter than you can see. Oh my god, Goku just went Super Saiyan 3 with Naruto, Luffy, the Dragon Ball 7. We about to crank the speed out all the way up to 11. You just died and you're about to be led to the greatest show this side of anime heaven. So sit down, stay tuned. Hey yo, DJ Spin, welcome to the show. This is Anime Legends.
All right. Hello, everybody. Well, currently, everybody. My name is AfroX, the anime man, your anime guy for everything anime. That's what we are talking about today. Of course. Trick's already up in here. Love you, man. Good stuff. Greetings. Glad to see you survived another week, legend. But yeah. Just getting started at the beginning and kind of to fill some time. I'm gonna go through. These aren't technically sponsorships, but just goals for the channel. Channel goals, kind of like relationship goals, but for YouTube. So right now we are currently at 273 subscribers. That's amazing. That's great. That's awesome. We really want to hit 300 subscribers fairly soon. That's the goal we're kind of looking towards. I'm hoping to get there before the end of this year. I was hoping for end of last year, but yeah, it didn't turn out the way I had planned. Anyways, so yeah, we're trying to head for 300 subs. Doing pretty good, honestly. I love making all the content that I do and stuff like that. I mean, we're honestly, there's not much news. We're going to keep going as normal. I wanted to ask you guys if you wanted me to do another Anime Origins, and if you wanted the Anime Origins to be in the same regular edited format, or if you actually liked watching Anime Origins as a live stream format. Either way, I have to make an edited video, so I don't really mind, but that is Dobraks. You might notice that my setup seems a little bit more far away today. That's because if I can tip this down a little bit, if you look behind me here, I just got the DGX 670. That's the 2021 Yamaha piano. This is a digital grand piano. Like, it has the keys weighted, all the sounds are recorded from an actual piano, so it is in essence a grand piano. So yeah, that's my baby right there. Named her Cecily. because I thought that was a cool name. Anyways, it's awesome because I can play Bluetooth through her, and so if I'm playing anime clips or something like that, um, I then you guys will be able to hear them full sound, which is really really good. That I'm able to do that. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it. I wanted to show off some new anime merch. My parents recently brought me out for my birthday, and my mom was so nice because she bought me a whole bunch of new shirts and stuff. And she got me this one, a My Hero Academia shirt, which is awesome. Got Ochako, Deku, Froppy, Bakugo, and Todoroki on there. Pretty much top 5. Anyways, I love it. And she also got me a Naruto shirt, which I can show you guys later if you want me to. But yeah. So new anime merch, always a great thing. Super excited about that. So without further ado, we're gonna get into one of our regular topics, which is what anime / manga have you seen / read this week? So just starting off, the anime that I watched this week, as you can tell by the title, I checked out the first episode of Jujutsu Kaisen, and I'm gonna touch on that a little bit later. But so I watched the first episode of Jujutsu Kaisen just because everybody's been talking about it nonstop, and I kind of got sick of hearing about all the hype. And people say I should watch stuff even if it's hyped. But anyways, watch that. I kept up in Katekyoshi Hitman Reborn, Hitman Coach Reborn. For those of you laymen not into the Japanese titles, that is turning out really well. As I was saying last week, I'm in about the section that Suna gets the mark of the Vangala and starts using the X Gloves Vangala version. A lot of power, but not that much control, and we're just seeing in the anime what he can really do with those. Up next, I kept watching My Hero Academia, the newest episode. Well, I always report on the second to the newest episode because I watched the newest episode late from about 1 week behind, just based on the day that I watch anime. So the second to the most recent one was the that which was inherited, and it is amazing. So pretty much the last battle between Class A and Class B starts. Class 1A and Class 1B, and all of a sudden, like, Deku's powers just go on the fritz and go completely wild. There's huge black strands of just pure destruction coming out of his hand. He doesn't know how to control it, and what I thought was cool was when he couldn't control his hand, Ochako just went and grabbed onto him and tried to calm him down, and I was like, oh, cool, she's finally coming around to the love story thing. I'm sure she was being just heroic, but I thought that was a nice touch. And so what they had to do in the end, because everybody who's watching the intro is like, ooh, there's going to be a second fight between Deku and Shinzo. And what has to happen is Deku has to let himself be hypnotized by Shinzo in order to pretty much knock himself out and stop his power from going. The interesting thing is, while he's knocked out, he goes into, I guess we're calling it the Vestige world. or the Shadow Realm or something like that. Anyway, he goes into his psyche, which is it's interesting that just like Naruto, we are we have another anime where the main character's psyche is an actual place that they can interact inside of. So Deku goes in there, and it's cool because Deku now has the body of a vestige. It's super shadowy. He doesn't have a mouth, so he can't really speak, but his vestige is in the shape of his superhero costume, which I thought was really cool. And so he talks to, I don't know the name of this guy. They didn't really give him a name. But anyway, he talks to one of the past vestiges who reveals himself. And pretty much in Deku's psyche, it's just like in Naruto's psyche, where people can put a little bit of their remaining spirit left in there to be able to talk to the next person who gets one for all. And apparently what I'm seeing in the anime and stuff is that the power to talk to vestiges skips a generation, because All Might never had a dream. He never had any idea that any of this is going on. But his mentor, I can't remember her name, but her last name was Shimura, I believe. But his mentor had the vestige dream also. So this new guy who apparently had the power Black Whip, and then also got also was selected to get one for all. I didn't really know people could have two quirks at the same time, but apparently they can. I think I was thinking more by One Piece logic. But anyways, he says, yeah, one for all like enhances your own original quirk. And so what is revealed here, if we are actually paying attention, is that somewhere deep down, Deku already has an original quirk. We just don't know what it is, but One for All is enhancing that quirk within him. And so and so what the guy who uses Black Whip says to him, he says, we will be with you, and you are the one who will complete One for All, which means that One for All is a total project that is put together. It in essence is the quirk to end all quirks. It is the singularity. It is it's Legion. It is Legion. It is one person who has the ability to summon and use the powers of all of the past users. So eventually what we're going to have is Deku is going to be able to have multiple powers. Because right now what Deku's using is he's using the powers of All Might. And he is starting to use the powers of the guy who uses Black Whip. I'm just going to call that guy Black Whip after his powers. So he's using the powers of All Might. He's using the powers of Black Whip. And maybe that's what it had to be, honestly. Because my theory here is that Deku is that all for one, or I mean One for All being given to someone who is quirkless completes it, because it lets them have multiple quirks. So yeah, Deku's pretty much turning into Legion, and as far as I can predict, eventually he'll be able to just he'll be the avatar of the My Hero Academia universe, and he'll just be able to use 9 different heroes' powers all at the same time, which is amazing. And if he could figure out how to combine them, do combos, I honestly would be blown away. But yeah, My Hero Academia. I continue to watching Excel World. I kind of got really into that speech about My Hero Academia, but hey, passing the time. Excel World. Right now, I'm kind of in the arc where Haru is trying to figure out how to fly again to get his wings. He's just met with Skyraker, watched the whole episode where he's trying to climb up the tower, and pretty much the idea I'm getting is they're saying is what Skyraker tells him is he tells him the same thing that Morpheus tells Neo in the Matrix, which is this is a video game. The rules of physics don't apply. Do whatever the heck you want, as long as you can imagine it. And the word for that override, I think it's really cool that they included this, because that right now, in this great transition here, great segue, that right now is being used in Sword Art Online Alicization. System override is a common thing or overriding somebody's code is a common thing that can be done in Sword Art Online Alicization. And as we know from learning a couple weeks ago, Excel World is a sequel set about 20 to 50 years in the future of Sword Art Online's universe, which I think is really cool. But yeah. Watched Excel World, watched Sword Art Online Alicization. I'm still watching Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba. I just got to the part where they are meeting Inosuke, the guy with a boar's head. And we're gonna see what happens there. They're in the house of the demon that can like move walls and change people's places in the house and stuff like that. So I'm just discovering about that. And then of course I'm probably about 2 episodes off from finishing Inuyasha. So it's going really well. I can't help but feel that the end of Inuyasha is gonna be rushed though. I feel like they're just gonna, in the last episode, they're gonna be like, oh, hey, Inuyasha can control his heavy sword now. He chopped Naraku in half. Naraku had all the other shards of the Shikan jewel. So there, ta-da. And I feel like I'm gonna be really disappointed by the end of Inuyasha, unless it doesn't end and it's like Full Metal Alchemist, where I have to watch a movie afterwards to find out what happens. I was really disappointed in Full Metal Alchemist at the end, just because I found out the story wasn't over, and I had to watch, and I still have to watch Conqueror of Shambhala to find out what happens. And there's also the movie The Star of Milos. But anyways, that's the animes that I've been watching this week. As for the manga that I've been reading, just today before the stream, I caught up in One Piece. We are at chapter 1015. And it is a roller coaster ride, folks. So, the end of chapter 1013, Luffy suddenly and without warning gets tossed into the sea by Kaido. He is completely knocked out. And honestly, at that point, I was like, Luffy's been knocked out a million times. He's going to come back. There's no way he's dead. There just isn't. So then what happens is in chapter 1014 we go on, and there is so Kaido makes the announcement. Kaido makes the announcement over all of Onigashima. Luffy's dead. You're fighting a losing battle. Like, surrender and I'll give you mercy, or else I'm going to clean up. He literally says clean up, and he's like, I'm gonna murder all of the rest of you. And so that announcement goes out. So people are kind of confused. They don't know what to do. Everything's in a tizzy. We get into chapter 1015. So chapter 1015, we find out that Kinemon makes his last stand against Kaido at the end of chapter 1014. And then at the beginning of 1015, we can see, obviously, it didn't work. Kinemon is completely crushed. In a last-ditch effort, he stabs a broken sword into Kaido's side, and Kaido takes out a tiny little dagger from his belt and just spears Kinemon through to the ground. So, I don't want to say it, but I'm pretty sure Kinemon chick KO'd dead for permanently dead for the rest of the series. Hope not, but that's what it's looking like. So after this happens, Momonosuke takes one of the kind of announcer things, a frog that was sitting there, and he yells into it. He's like, "You know what? Don't give up. Luffy's still alive. He gave me a message. He said that he's still gonna beat Kaido." There's something happening here. Momonosuke is able to relay information from Luffy to himself. So something interesting is happening here, and that is that somehow Luffy and Momonosuke have a link. And what I'm theorizing is that the next stage, the next evolution in Conqueror's Haki, because Conqueror's Haki works on the will, is that Luffy is going to be able to communicate telepathically with people, even while he's unconscious, which is absolutely amazing how powerful it is. But as we've seen in Marineford, he yells stop, and the guards just fly away. In what is it? The Neptune's Palace underwater place. Fishman Island. That's right. He literally knocks out 10,000 soldiers just by like walking into them. There's when he's fighting Dogtooth, he's able to see slightly into the future, and now we get to the point where his Conqueror's Haki can telepathically communicate with people even while he's unconscious, which that is amazing. But yeah, what I said in the comments of that was that Ichiro Oda is absolutely amazing, because what he manages to, he's a magician. He just is a magician, because what he manages to do is Oda manages to use manga, or to make manga that breaks the fourth wall without breaking the fourth wall. When Kaido's announcement goes out that Luffy is dead, in the manga, there Shinobu says that, Raizo says that message was meant to shatter our resolve. That message wasn't meant to shatter the character's resolve. That message was meant to shatter the audience's resolve, our resolve, and make us actually think seriously and be like, oh man, Luffy might actually be dead this time. Like, this might be it. And when Momonosuke's announcement goes out, it rallies all of our hopes, and I was sitting there reading it, and I was crying. I was hope crying. I was like, this boy better come back. This boy gonna come back. We gonna have a day, man. This boy gonna come back stronger. Like Luffy straight up like a Super Saiyan. Like, you beat him to the point of near death, and he comes back stronger and bops you back. Yeah. Kaido better watch out. End of chapter 1015, we get a really cool image of Kaido standing outside the dome of Onigashima, and Yamato comes up, and she's just pissed. And she's just like, Kaido! And he's like, don't you mean father? And she's like, that bond has chained me down for too many years. And so we were about to get an epic fight between them. And that was very Star Wars-ish how Oda did that, which I think was really cool. So that was the anime and manga that I've seen and read this week. Let's look at the comments. See what we've got here. Trick says, hey, almost at 300. That's right, 300 subs. Super excited. He said, I watched season 5 of Tenchi Ryoki. Never heard of that, but it sounds very interesting. He said the multiple quirks should not happen. That's interesting. I think the multiple quirks would be a really cool thing for them to do. I mean, unless it made Deku super overpowered, but honestly, with the stuff that All For One could be planning in his head, especially the fact that I mean, looking at the episode, apparently All For One knows when Deku's having these vestige dreams, because he's sitting in his cell and he starts talking to the camera and he's just like, I can hear my own memories. So apparently, All For One has a link to the vestige realm also. Or All For One and One For All's psyches are linked or something like that. But yeah. So it said, you're into Excel World now. You say I'm into Excel World as if I've just told you this, but literally 2 live streams ago was the entire episode was about Excel World. So yeah, I'm into Excel World. Been into it for a while. Trick says you will enjoy the movie of Inuyasha. Oh, okay. So I'm taking it what happens is that Inuyasha does not win at the end of season 2, and I'm gonna have to watch a movie. Great. He said, I'm glad Kaido put Luffy in his place. Why are you glad, man? Like, we all rooting for the good guy to win. Like, don't be on the side of evil, man. It's a hard road, and somebody has to take it, but that's no reason for us to cheer for the bad guy. I mean, go ahead and cheer for the bad guy if you want to. I just don't. I can't. I mean, I play the Infamous games, and they give me the choice to be evil, and I morally can't do that. Because it's hard. Because I don't look at it as a video game. I mean, I look at the Infamous games as a moral standpoint. And if you're evil in the Infamous games, who says you aren't evil in real life? Anyways, that's off subject. And Trick said, yeah, just saying you like it. Yeah, yep, I do like Excel World. Wow, I've managed to break through about a half hour already. I went on tangent. Luffy is getting too strong too fast. I don't know. I mean, what are we looking at with this? The last real show of power. The last real show of power that Luffy did was when he transformed into Snake Man, fighting Charlotte Dogtooth. And that was when his Conqueror's Haki started to be able to let him see into the future. I do think his Conqueror's Haki might be evolving too fast. I don't think his Devil Fruit powers are, because he's been in Gear 4th all the way since he fought Doflamingo, and that was back in probably chapter almost 800. So we've gone 200 chapters since Luffy's gotten a true new form outside, since he's gotten to a new gear. A couple of people in the comments were predicting that what we're gonna see next is a Gear 5th. But I don't think so. I think the direction that Oda's gonna go with it is that he's gonna stop doing the gear transformations, or slow them down at least, and he's going to evolve Luffy's Conqueror's Haki so that Luffy will be able to have the best Conqueror's Haki. Like the whole thing with Oda is like Luffy can have the same powers as other people, but Luffy has to be the best at them. Because he's the main character. But yeah, I mean, I like where it's going. I'm really excited. I want to see what happens. But hey, you know what? Nobody knows. Nobody knows but the big man on the other side of the ocean. That's Ichiro Oda. And I think he told a dying kid once how One Piece ends. But in news, he's definitely said One Piece is ending soon, and that it will likely end probably the end of summer next year. I'm not sure about that, so don't quote me on it, but I believe that was the quoted time frame. Anyways, what were we moving on to? Oh, yes, I was going to tell all of you about Jujutsu Kaisen. So, all right then, Jujutsu Kaisen episode 1. So I checked it out, and since it's been out for a while, I'm not really spoiling anything. So pretty much, the beginning of this anime introduces the main character, whose name is Sukuna Itadori, and it introduces him as kind of a regular high school kid, really lazy. I got a lot of Natsu Dragneel vibes, like from Fairy Tail. Haven't seen Fairy Tail. I kind of know what the character is like, though. But yeah, he's lazy, but he's very inwardly talented. So he's just a regular high school kid. He is part of the occult club, which isn't really an actual club. And he's better at track than even like the teachers and stuff. So he's taking care of his ailing grandfather. His grandfather is dying, and in the first episode, grandfather goes kaput. That machine is broken. So he doesn't have time to process anything, because apparently his occult club is going to open like a super cursed talisman, and they're all pretty much gonna die. And so a guy comes to him thinking he has a talisman, and he's like, bruh, I don't got your flippin' collector's item. And so he's like, but my homies do. So they zip off to the school, and already things are going haywire. There's monsters eating, pretty much trying to eat the, well, not trying to eat. They are eating the occult club. The occult club is nearly no more. So this guy who has talked to Itadori, I believe his name is Goro. I'm not sure on that. But anyways, he rushes in, and he's like, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to end this. And he summons 2 demon hounds, which is very reminiscent of Hellsing, which was a nice touch there. And so Itadori is like, I'm effing bored, and I don't want to see anybody die from here on out. So he's like, boom, I'm going to jump in the window and be the hero at the last second, kick the bad guy in the face. Wow. And saves the girl, saves the talisman, and they destroy the demon. But there's another demon that's coming to get this. This is like, this cursed item is like the spiritual MacGuffin of all time. So, anyways, at one point he asks Goro or Goro, whatever his name is. He's like, why do they want to eat it? Oh, because they'll get a ton of power. And so Itadori, in a move of absolute genius, he's fighting the monster, almost about to die, almost about to get eaten, and he swallows the cursed item, which happens to be a really sharp, a finger with a really sharp fingernail. Which, ouch, when that's going down. Anyways, so he immediately gets a ton of cursed power, blows the demon apart, and pretty much gets possessed by this other demon who's been awakened now. And this demon is named Ryomen. And so Ryomen is he's pretty evil. Like, the second he gets out, he looks out at the city and he's like, I want to kill all the women and children. And so Itadori is like, nope, not gonna let you do that. And get out of my body. And Ryomen's like, what? And he's like, yeah, you're this is my body. It's not your body. This is my body. And so now they're kind of together. He's possessed by this super powerful demon that's been awakened now. And so Goro's like, okay, you're a demon, you're a curse now. Now I have to slay you. And that's the end of episode 1. So, my review of Jujutsu Kaisen episode 1, it's Bleach. It's blatantly Bleach. With the art style of... It has the art style of Seven Deadly Sins. It has the gore style of Parasite the Maxim, but it's Bleach. It's Bleach meets what is it? It's Bleach meets Devilman Crybaby. Like honestly, it is. It's Bleach meets Devilman. And I know a lot of people can't handle original concepts, but don't just slap together old concepts and call it a great anime. I mean, the fact that it is so many animes slapped together made the episode feel unoriginal. It made the anime feel like, oh hey, everybody's done this before. It's typical shonen. It's shonen syndrome. It's typical shonen, and it makes your anime boring when you slap stuff together. Now, if the author of Parasite the Maxim and the author of Jujutsu Kaisen happen to be the same person, then I understand. But still, even then, when I watched Excel World, I couldn't tell at all it had anything to do with Sword Art Online. So you can make two different properties, but you don't have to make them be exactly the same. So, my rating of Jujutsu Kaisen based on episode 1, and we'll review this in the future, my review is a my review is about a 5, I'd say. So, I'll give it merit for the action. The action is great, but I gotta dock it a good 5 points for being unoriginal. But yeah. So Jujutsu Kaisen in my mind right now, it's a 5 out of 10. Could go either way. I'm gonna keep watching it, see what happens. All right. So moving on. Now we are going to be talking about the anime showcase of the day. Oh, let's check the chat really quick. So Trix says, just need to see the Emperors be actual threats. Well, that's what they're in One Piece. That's what they're trying to do. Trix is, they're trying to show the Emperors as threats. So Sanji comes in at one point and he's starting to fight Queen, and everybody in the comments is like, "Oh, look, a fight where Sanji is actually being useful," and other people defend him, and they're like, you know what, Sanji is powerful. He just needs to be in the right fight at the right time, and he's just weak against women because he's a gentleman. He's chivalrous. So yeah, the emperors are being threats, and the fact of the matter is the fact that Luffy is having a hard time against Kaido. I mean, Luffy fighting Kaido has pretty much been Luffy big punch, Kaido big punch, Luffy unconscious. Luffy wakes up, Luffy big punch, Kaido big punch, Luffy unconscious. Luffy has literally gone unconscious about 3 or 4 times since entering Wano country. And that trope is getting it's getting boring, and it's getting predictable, which might be the only flaw in Oda's design. But honestly, if one trope is becoming predictable, is the only flaw in your design, you got a pretty fucking good design, and that's the one F word we get this episode. So there's that. Trick says Jujutsu is okay, not a bad series, just not really my thing. Okay. Well, same difference, 5 out of 10. Could go either way. We'll see how it goes. Before we move on, I am going to see if I can find a short clip from Jujutsu Kaisen episode 1 to show you on here. I want to find a short one if I can. You know what? How about I just show you the teaser trailer here? Oh. Here, hold on a second. I'm going to get the audio working again. Okay. Oh, Gojo is his name, actually. Oh, this is the one for the anime movie. Interesting. Let's see if I can't find an actual clip. All right.
Good morning. So which one of the two are you right now?
Hey, wait.
Yeah. Satoru Gojo. Yori. You see, it's been decided that you are to be secretly executed.
I guess you probably heard that. So, what type of club are you in, Yuji?
The Stevenson hutch is empty.
For real? That's hilarious. Maybe you took a nighttime stroll.
I'm going to punch you.
Wow. No going home until it's recovered, okay?
Yeah. And that's a little bit of Jujutsu Kaisen, just so you can get a taste of it. Okay. Moving on. I didn't predict that we would get this far, and I still have a lot of content to go. But we're gonna talk about our main our main anime today, and that is Chaos Head. And Chaos Head is quite a ride. Chaos Head, it's a 2008 anime television series created by Madhouse, based on 5PB and Nitro Plus's video game of the same name. So Chaos Head is the beginning of a series of games and animes, and it is part one, and it is pretty much the saga of the, I think they call it the CERN or Vern Society, something like that. But anyway, it's this big corporation that is trying to control like actual quantum physics. Like, they're trying to take control of reality. They're trying to control time travel, stuff like that. And these are all the characters that get swept up in those narratives. So Chaos Head is the beginning. Part 2 is Steins Gate. You might have heard of that. That's a little bit more popular. Then the third part is called Robotics Notes. And the fourth part, which is coming out soon, likely this summer, is going to be called Chaos Child, which sounds very, very interesting. So Chaos Head is about this kid. His name is, I haven't watched this in such a long time, so I've forgotten a lot of the names, but the main character is named Kozue Orihara, and pretty much he gets caught up in almost getting brutally murdered. And so in this instance of almost getting brutally murdered, he's saved by these like magical girls. And I know what you're saying, magical girls, oh man, this is just another segue into like Madoka Magica. No, it's not. So he gets saved by these quote unquote magical girls that aren't really magical girls. They are literally just girls who are able to fight against illusions and demons within the cognitive realm. And it seems like a lot of video games like to touch on the cognitive realm, especially like Shin Megami Tensei and Persona 5, stuff like that. But yeah, so he gets all caught up in this and pretty much has to end up joining them in order to save all of reality from the grand delusion, the grand delusions of society. And this organization that's trying to control the world of delusions is they're trying to use this power to take over the world. And so that's pretty much the synopsis of Chaos Head, is just that. It's a great anime. I'd really suggest watching it and getting into it. I've only watched Chaos Head. At some point, I really want to start watching Steins Gate, just because that looks interesting. Just a quick long and short of it is Steins Gate, a scientist figures out how to travel through time by texting a microwave, which I don't know how that works, but anyway, he figures it out, and it becomes a 12 Monkeys situation where he goes back. Nobody remembers that he's created time travel. He goes to the past, changes something, and when he goes back, no one remembers he's created time travel. No one has the equipment. Nobody like, and he has completely forgotten how to create time travel. And so, pretty much he has to recreate time travel and then go on a mission to continually go back and find what he changed in the past in order to correct and save the future. And pretty much bring his reality back to what it was in the beginning, in the middle of all these branched off timelines. All the while, the organization from Chaos Head is now trying to find out, is trying to get his brain, and so that they can figure out how to create time travel. So that's an interesting story in its own right. I don't know much about Robotics Notes, just that it's a school that builds huge mechas, stuff like that, and I have no idea what Chaos Child is going to be about. Probably a direct sequel to Chaos Head. But yeah, that's what Chaos Head is all about. So the last thing that we are going to touch on today is I'm going to teach the word for bathroom in Japanese, which is a really, really good thing because if you need to go to the bathroom in Japan, I mean, it's the only way you can really talk about it. So looking up on sites like Word Hippo and stuff like that, we don't really get a clear idea of what an actual word for it is. I mean, if we're looking at it, we get stuff like yokushitsu, which is bath, toare, which is toilet, senmenjo, which is washroom. But honestly, if you're in Japan, probably the easiest way to say it is just phonetically say it. Basurumu. Basurumu. Yeah. So yeah, in Japan, if you gotta go to the bathroom, probably just tell someone basurumu, and they'll know what you're talking about. Looking at the chat, so Trix said, those series are weird when you put them all together. They are weird. Now, I want to make sure that I get this stuff right. And I want to find out what the name of the actual organization is. Oh, it's called the Nozomi Group. So yeah, the evil organization in the Chaos Head series is called the Nozomi Group. They're trying to take over reality. They're trying to take over time travel. Yeah. So that's about the long and short of it. So at this point, I'm going to leave it up to the chat to ask anything they want to. And in about 6 minutes, we're going to leave you until next week. So here's where Afro X asks, any questions? But yeah, while we're doing that, I'm gonna set up the end card here. Actually, while we're getting questions, I'm gonna see if I can show you guys a clip from Chaos Head. Oh, interesting. If you go on YouTube, it looks like they have the full 12 episode run of Chaos Head. So this is the official trailer for Chaos Head. Interesting. Honestly, I should watch it again. See, seems like it is really, really cool. But yeah, I didn't know it was from the same studio that did Death Note. So question here. Trix says, anything else you're going to watch? Well, as I said, I'm 2 episodes out from finishing Inuyasha. After that, I need to find a new episode about demons to watch. So, honestly, I'm thinking I might just pop Jujutsu Kaisen into that slot. Although Jujutsu Kaisen is hard to watch because I don't know how people are watching it. It's not on Netflix. It's not on Hulu. The only place you can really watch it is Crunchyroll, and man, effing Crunchyroll, literally their stuff does not work unless you pay for it. Like, they have a serious paywall. Like, if you're not paying for Crunchyroll, you have to sit through multiple repetitive ads that constantly skip and pause. Your anime pauses at random moments and just sits there. Pretty much they have horrible quality for anyone who is not paying for a subscription to Crunchyroll, which I love that they do anime. I love that they come out with the newest stuff, but I hate that they make that paywall such a bad punishment for people who don't want to pay to watch anime. Because honestly, anime should be free. I mean, yes, the mangakas should be paid because they do the hard work. But if you're just a distributor, if you're like Crunchyroll and you're just streaming the anime and you're not like making actual anime of your own, like, your service should be free. I mean, a lot of the money that comes to the manga authors comes out of book sales, manga book sales, volume sales, and then buying of like DVDs and anime DVDs and stuff like that, and anime merch just in general. By the way, talking about volumes, One Piece is super impressive right now. They are on volume 99. They have almost hit 100 manga volumes, which, whoo, 100 manga volumes. That's literally like, I mean, if you do the numbers on that, and that would mean if they've gotten to over 1,000 chapters and they're at 100 volumes, they're probably stacking 10 chapters into each volume, which is amazing. What I found out the other day by watching Mother's Basement is that Ichiro Oda redraws all of the flashbacks that the characters have, so that no drawing is ever the same. He also painstakingly draws every colored spread. So not only the manga he draws the colored spreads too, which is super impressive. But yeah, either I'll watch Jujutsu Kaisen, or I have been wanting to get into the anime called The World Ends With You. That's on Hulu, and that is another anime that is based on a video game. So yeah, either Jujutsu Kaisen or The World Ends With You. I am interested in. There's tons I've always wanted to watch. I've always wanted to watch Konosuba. I've always wanted to watch Ray Zero, starting life over in a new world. I mean, you throw a stone, you could find an anime that I haven't watched that I want to watch. But anyway, that is all that we have for today. And I will see you next week. So, I do hope you survive, Legends. Have a week.